Did you know that a stroke after 60 rarely starts with a bad meal? It isn't about a greasy burger or a salt binge. In my neurology practice, the pattern is more haunting. I see men and women who exercised, never smoked, and took immense pride in their clean diet. They followed the rules, or so they thought. The terrifying truth is that the very things you eat, because you believe they are healthy, may be quietly engineering a stroke inside you. I sit across from patients in total shock who tell me, "Doctor, I don't understand. I eat normally. I don't eat junk." They aren't coming in with a massive stroke yet. They come in with pre-stroke signals. A brief moment of confusion, a subtle slurring of a word, or a morning weakness that fades by lunch. Cheese is one of the most frequent offenders, not because it's toxic, but because after 60, your brain's microcirculation reacts to its chemistry in a way it never did before. I am Dr. David Chen, a stroke neurologist. I don't look at food through the lens of calories. I look at vascular hemodynamics, the pressure and flow inside your arteries after the sun goes down. After 60, your biological contract with food has changed. Your arteries are stiffer and your kidneys clear sodium more slowly. A food that feels harmless at 2 p.m. can behave like a biological trigger at 2 a.m. while you are most vulnerable. Before we continue, drop a comment below with your age and tell me if you eat cheese regularly. And please hit that subscribe button because I share life-saving neurological insights like this every single week. Now, let me walk you through the specific cheeses that are silently raising your stroke risk. We begin with cream cheese. Whether it's spread on a morning bagel or used in a sandwich, it is prized for its soft texture and mild flavor. Most of my patients over 60 tell me they chose it specifically because it feels cleaner than butter. But in the neurology ward, we look at lipid hemodynamics, how that food changes the physical behavior of your blood. The primary danger of cream cheese for a brain over 60 is its high concentration of saturated fats combined with its lack of fiber. When you consume these fats in a soft, emulsified form, your body processes them with surprising speed. This leads to a post-meal surge in what I call LDL stickiness. For a senior whose cerebral vessels have already lost their elasticity, this fat surge creates a state of sluggish flow. When you introduce a concentrated lipid load first thing in the morning or as a late-night snack, you are increasing the thickness of your blood. If your arteries already have silent plaque buildup, this thickened, sticky blood is significantly more likely to snag on those rough patches. I see the results on MRIs every single week. Patients with lacunar infarcts, tiny permanent holes in the brain tissue caused by small vessels that simply couldn't push the thickened blood through. These patients don't wake up paralyzed. They wake up a little more forgetful, a little more clumsy, and they have no idea that their healthy breakfast was the architect of that damage. Cream cheese offers almost zero fiber buffer to slow down the absorption of its fats. It is a concentrated lipid hit that stays in your circulation during the very hours when your blood flow is naturally at its slowest. A breakfast routine you've had for 30 years can suddenly become a vascular anchor at age 65. If you are over 60, cream cheese should be a rare indulgence, not a daily staple. Next is pre-grated Parmesan, often sold in those familiar plastic shaker bottles. Most people don't even categorize this as cheese. They see it as a simple seasoning. But as a stroke neurologist, when I see that shaker bottle, I see a nocturnal sodium bomb. The primary hazard is the dual threat of dehydrating salts and cellulose. To keep these cheese particles from clumping, manufacturers add anti-caking agents, most commonly cellulose. While these are food grade, they act as a desiccant in your digestive tract, absorbing water and contributing to dehydration. When you combine this with the massive sodium load found in shelf-stable Parmesan, you create a crisis for your vascular volume. After age 60, your kidneys are less efficient at clearing excess sodium, especially at night. If you have a sprinkle of this cheese on your dinner, by 3 a.m., that sodium has pulled water out of your cells and into your bloodstream, causing your blood volume to swell. This increases the internal pressure against your arterial walls at the exact moment your vessels should be resting. Your blood becomes more concentrated and gritty. We call this platelet hyperaggregability, a state where your blood cells are primed to stick together. I treated a patient named Arthur, 71, who used pre-grated Parmesan on almost everything. He didn't realize that just 2 tablespoons contained more sodium than a bag of potato chips. Arthur had normal blood pressure during doctor's visits, but he was suffering from masked hypertension. Every night, his blood pressure would skyrocket. One morning at 5 a.m., a small vessel in his brain finally gave way under the silent pressure. After 60, your brain cannot tolerate these sharp overnight shifts in blood volume and thickness. If you are over 60, throw away the shaker bottle. Moving to aged sharp cheddar. Many seniors believe that the sharper the cheese, the higher the quality. However, in the neurology ward, sharpness is a chemical marker for a compound called tyramine. Tyramine is a naturally occurring amino acid that increases as cheese ages. While a younger body can easily break down tyramine, after age 60, your enzyme clearance levels naturally decline. For a senior, tyramine acts as a powerful vasopressor, a substance that tells your blood vessels to constrict suddenly and violently. The danger lies in the timing. Many people enjoy aged cheddar as a late evening snack. As you sleep, the tyramine begins to peak in your system. By the time you reach the early morning hours, your vessels are already constricted and under chemical stress. Instead of a smooth transition into wakefulness, your brain is hit with a hammer blow of pressure. If you have any pre-existing weakness in your cerebral arteries, this is the exact moment they can rupture. I treated a patient named Eleanor, 68, who loved her aged cheddar. She began experiencing pulsatile headaches every morning at 6 a.m. In reality, it was her brain screaming under the tyramine-induced pressure spikes from her nightly snack. One morning, she suffered a TIA that left her temporarily unable to move her left arm. For a brain over 60, aged cheese is a neurological gamble. If you must have cheddar, choose mild or medium varieties that haven't been aged for years. Now we encounter blue cheeses, including Gorgonzola, Roquefort, and Stilton. Many seniors choose them as a gourmet alternative, believing the mold provides probiotic benefits. However, as a stroke neurologist, I see a vascular inflammatory trigger. The danger lies in the high concentration of histamines and tyramine produced during fermentation. After 60, your body's production of the enzymes needed to neutralize these compounds drops significantly. When you consume blue cheese, these histamines act as powerful vasodilators, while the tyramine acts as a vasoconstrictor. This creates vascular turbulence, where your arteries receive conflicting chemical signals. Many seniors are already taking medications like ACE inhibitors or antidepressants. The chemical compounds in blue cheese can interfere with how these drugs are metabolized, either rendering your medication useless or causing a dangerous sudden drop followed by a violent rebound in blood pressure. This yo-yo effect is far more damaging to your cerebral arteries than a steady reading. I treated a patient named Margaret, 73, who had Gorgonzola every evening with red wine. Her blood pressure fluctuated wildly while she slept. She began experiencing ice-pick headaches. One night, she suffered an embolic stroke that affected her vision. After 60, your body's chemical filter is no longer strong enough to handle the biogenic amines found in mold-ripened cheeses. We've reached the most dangerous category: processed American cheese slices. Those perfectly square, rubbery slices wrapped in individual plastic. As a stroke neurologist, I need to tell you that these are not actually cheese. They are pasteurized, prepared cheese products. For a brain over 60, they represent a triple threat of vascular calcification, endothelial stress, and blood viscosity. The primary danger isn't just the fat. It is the massive load of sodium phosphates used as emulsifiers. After 60, your kidneys become significantly less efficient at filtering out excess phosphorus. When phosphorus levels rise in your blood, your body reacts by pulling calcium out of your bones and depositing it directly into your arterial walls. You are literally turning your flexible brain arteries into brittle, stony pipes. I treated a patient named Henry, 72, who ate 2 processed cheese slices on crackers every night. His nightly phosphate load was quietly stoning his arteries. One evening, Henry experienced a sudden thunderclap headache. A small, calcified vessel had become so brittle that it simply snapped. For a brain over 60, processed American cheese is a vascular anchor. If you are over 60, you must eliminate these processed slices from your diet immediately. Finally, we have nacho cheese and liquid cheese sauces, those bright orange glowing liquids found in movie theaters and jars. For a brain over 60, this isn't food. It is a vascular calcification accelerator. To keep this substance liquid at any temperature, manufacturers use a massive concentration of sodium phosphates. These are absorbed 100% by your digestive tract. They flood your bloodstream instantly. Your body reacts by pulling calcium out of your bones and depositing it directly into your cerebral arteries. When you consume these sauces as a late-night snack, you are actively calcifying your brain's plumbing while your blood flow is at its slowest. This makes your vessels brittle and prone to snapping. These sauces are a triple threat of sodium, hydrogenated oils, and high fructose corn syrup. Your blood becomes thick, salty, and inflamed all at once. I have treated countless seniors who didn't understand how they had a stroke when they didn't eat poorly. They didn't realize that the liquid nacho sauce was more damaging to their brain than any traditional meal. After 60, you are introducing industrial-grade chemicals into a system that requires pure, clean flow. If you are over 60, you must eliminate liquid cheese sauces from your life entirely. I want to be very clear. Cheese is not your enemy. My goal is not to banish dairy, but to change how you consume it. After 60, your brain is no longer a forgiving environment. To protect your vascular integrity, prioritize cheeses that are minimally processed. If you want to enjoy dairy, pivot toward young, fresh varieties like ricotta, goat cheese, or fresh mozzarella. These lack the aggressive tyramine spikes and phosphate loads, making them far safer. The golden rule is timing and hydration. Move your cheese consumption to earlier in the day. Always pair dairy with water to counter the osmotic pressure salt places on your vessels. Most overnight strokes are not random accidents. They are the calculated result of chemistry meeting aging vessels at the most vulnerable hour. You are not a victim of your age. You are a product of your habits. Small discipline changes like removing these dangerous cheeses from your evening routine do more to protect your independence than almost any medication. Before you open your refrigerator tonight, ask yourself, is this choice calming my arteries or stressing them while I sleep? Your brain is the only one you have. Protect it while you still have the chance. If this video opened your eyes, please leave a comment telling me which cheese surprised you most. Hit that like button and share this video with someone you care about. Subscribe and turn on notifications because I release critical health information every single week. Thank you for watching. I am Dr. David Chen. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and protect your brain.